Hello, it's Grandma Noodle here at the Real Questions, Real Answers Laboratory, where we noodle out the Word of God and science. Wow, it was so cold this morning when I came into work. I actually had to put on some gloves to scrape my window. I also wore my winter coat and my scarf. Those things were such a blessing to keep me warm. It got me thinking though, how do the animals stay warm? I can put on lots of layers, but we don't see animals walking around in dry fit, scarves, mittens, or flannel underwear to keep them warm. How do the animals stay warm? Like polar bears, they live where it's really, really cold. You know, God took care of those polar bears, and God takes care of all kinds of different animals in different ways, specifically tailored to each of their needs. Polar bears live where it's really, really cold. Did you know that it's normally -29 degrees in the winter where they live? And it can even get as low as -92. Wow. You and I would turn into popsicles at that temperature, but not the polar bear. God gave them special protection from the cold. Let me show you how it works with this science experiment. Okay, we have some ice water here, and I want you to put your hand in this bag. Go ahead. And then stick your hand down in that ice water and see.
I can do it without the bag.
Well, I'm trying to keep you dry. Like, how long can you keep it in there before it's just too cold you don't want to do it anymore?
5 minutes.
5 whole minutes you could do that? I couldn't do it 5 whole minutes. Let's make it a little bit colder and see. Let's make it a little bit colder and see what happens. So if you add salt to it, it'll actually make it a little bit colder. Well,
That melted ice.
let's take the temperature here. We'll see how cold it is without the salt. It's what is that?
I don't really see the meter. It looks like 40. No. Looks like 0 degrees.
About 0, okay? And we know that freezing happens about 32. So that's pretty cold, right? Let's see if we can make it even colder. Let's put some ice in there, or some salt in the ice. This is a good experiment to do at home, but you might want to ask your mom first before you use up all of her salt. So we'll mix that in. Let's take the temperature again. Let's see if we can get it to go colder. Is it going colder?
It's like -20. It looks like -10.
-10, so it is getting colder. All right, now stick your hand in there again and see. Do you feel like you can still do 5 whole minutes, or would you go a little less?
2 minutes.
About 2 minutes you could handle it, and then you want to take your hand out.
Maybe not that long. That's pretty cold.
It's pretty cold? Well, you tell me when. I don't know how long it takes before frostbite sets in.
Better not take that one.
All right, well, let's see if we can protect your hand a little bit from the ice so that you don't get frostbite. So we're going to put this back up here at the front a little bit, and then I want you to go ahead and take this shortening. This is just baking shortening. And then I want you to scoop it into this bag here. So quite a lot, so that it's about 4.5 inches thick. Might take a little bit. You might need both hands for this one. Okay. Keep going. We need a lot more than that. Do you need some help?
No, I got it.
You got it? Okay. This is a messy project. What makes it a little more fun, right?
It's not all over my hand yet.
Here, let's see if we can get it off the sides. It takes quite a lot of Crisco for this. All right, now take your bag that you had before. Yeah, that one's fine. Stick your hand back in there, and then shove it down in the middle of the
That's
Crisco.
not gonna feel good.
Well, just shove it right in there. Okay.
Not that bad.
We're gonna squish it up around your hand there. Now,
At least it's another bag.
yeah. Now stick it back into that ice water. That I think it should be really cold by now. How does that feel? How long could you leave it there like that?
Hour.
An hour. So we're getting better. We're getting more time. So a polar bear is a lot like this. They have this thick blubber that's in between the lining of their skin and their muscle. It's about 4.5 inches thick. And that is actually what keeps them warm. It's not their fur. Is that pretty cool?
Wait, what is it made out of?
It's just fat from the food, the fish that they eat, all that oil, and they eat a lot of fish.
It's not even cold.
It's not even cold. Okay, that's the end of the experiment. You did good. The blubber on a polar bear is 4.5 inches thick. The blubber not only insulates their bodies from the cold, it also makes them more buoyant. That means it helps them float. Man, God sure thought of everything. Here are some other really cool facts about the polar bear. Did you know its fur actually is not white? It just looks that way. Their hair shaft is pigment-free and transparent, and it has a hollow core that scatters and reflects the visible light, much like what happens with ice and snow. Did you also know that polar bears look the whitest when they are clean and have a high angle of sunlight, especially just after a molting period, which usually begins in the spring and is completed by late summer? Did you know that before molting, oil accumulates in their fur from the seals that they eat, and it can make them look yellow? A bear's skin is black. Black tends to absorb the heat while white reflects it. This helps them stay warmer. They are the largest bear standing on its hind legs. A male can be 10 feet tall. The largest recorded was 12 feet. Wow, that is really tall. Polar bears live in 5 countries: the United States, Canada, Russia, Greenland, and Norway. Would you like to see a drawing of my polar bear? Let me show you. Here it is. What, you can't see that? Oh, maybe it's upside down. Here, maybe you need to get a little closer. Still don't see it? Of course you can't see it. That polar bear is in the middle of a blizzard. Here are some things you can try at home. Try the blubber glove experiment yourself. But first, please ask permission before using up all of your mom's shortening. I'll post a link below in the comments for you to be able to copy those experiments. Also, draw your very own polar bear and post it in the comments. But don't put yours in a blizzard like I did. That's just silly. Draw me a real one. Bye-bye now. You be sure and have your friends watch Grandma Noodle with you.